There you go.
I'd like to call the meeting to order for October 13th, 2020. Would you please rise for a moment of silence? Thank you. Would you please join in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call.
Trustee Sheets.
Here.
Trustee Hunt.
Here.
Trustee Here.
And we had no minutes from the last time, but you have them this
I
time.
have them. I just have to copy and staple them, and I have your financial reports. I've got a staple.
Okay. I will make a motion to pay our expenditures. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call.
Trustee Sheets.
Yes.
Trustee Hunt.
Yes.
Trustee Good.
Yes. And we'll go on down to our department reports. Deputy Carter.
Good evening.
Hello.
All right, so we're doing a little bit different. Instead of a piece of paper, it's on my cell phone, so bear with me. This report is from September 22nd to just October 13th. We had 154 calls of service, which is 3 more than 2 weeks prior. Had 15 reports, which is 9 more than last time. We had 3 arrests in this 2-week period, which is 1 less than 2 weeks. Out of those runs, we had 3 drug-related runs. That's 2 more than 2 weeks prior. On Pheasant Drive, October 13th, Grove City Road, out of a traffic stop on, October 13th, and Grove City Road was October 3rd, and Pheasant Drive on October 8th. We had 1 burglary, and that was on Norton Road, October 12th. That's 1 more than 2 weeks prior.
Do you know how much they got out of that?
No, but I can look that up. Theft of a motor vehicle was 0, which is 1 less than 2 weeks prior. We had 3 reported thefts. West London Groveport Road on October 3rd, 1 on Grousel Road on October 7th, 1 on West London Groveport and Grousel, which I believe, if I remember that run right, that was actually out of a cemetery or close to the cemetery. And those drug-related runs, 2 of those were actually overdoses, and those were both on Pheasant Drive.
Same person.
Yes, just 2 different times of the day, but it's still considered 2 separate runs. So I am still waiting on the garage to give me my hitch since my old one broke. So that's all I'm waiting on, so I can get that trailer out there.
I appreciate
So
that.
I'm working on it. So that's all I have at this point. Is there any concerns or requests?
I don't know.
I have none.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Go on to road department, Robert.
We had our township cleanup. We end up getting 5 30-yard roll-offs of garbage that went to the landfill, 8,500 pounds of steel, and a little over 500 tires. We did something a little different this year. Instead of people that brought in concrete block and broke up concrete, instead of throwing that in the dumpster, we piled it out back, loaded it up, and there's a concrete recycling place on Fisher Road. We hauled it up
Oh,
there.
nice.
So it saved a little tonnage on the landfill. The next thing is Burning Tree Court. As soon as I can get the precast catch basin, I'll be starting on that job. I'll probably give them a call tomorrow to see if they've got a timeline on when I can get one. Since we're talking about storing the new recycling bins in the barn back here, I'd like the board's permission to put our tar distributor on Gov Deals. I mean, we haven't used it in 3 years and it's just taking up space, and it'd be probably more valuable to open that up for the recycle bins that we're going to be getting. Then
You're talking the old Dodge truck.
the old Dodge, yeah, it's 1964 Dodge 500. It's served its purpose, so.
You see no reason you would need it in the future.
No, just if we do have stuff like that done, it's a lot easier to contact the county and have their chip seal crew do it. And then they do a much better job of it too. It's just, we don't have the manpower to run all the equipment that we actually need to do a good job of it. And a bunch of the nozzles are getting wore on the distributor, and it's doesn't spray a good pattern much anymore, so.
I think it's probably a good idea.
And we cut a tree up at Gundy Cemetery. It was one that, it was a cedar tree that got struck by lightning. It was hollow. There's also another tree. It's close to the neighbor's yard, and I guess she injured herself on the nuts that fell off of it. And the county contacted me, seeing if we needed any assistance. I said, yeah, if they can get all the top out of it where we can drop it, the rest of it, it'd be much appreciated. So he said, you know, when they get their bucket truck back, he'll give me a call and we'll set something up to get that tree down also. So that's all I have.
Paula, do we need a resolution to put that on Gov Deals?
I think we had talked about doing one like at the beginning of the year that would cover everything, but I don't know that we ever did that. So it'd probably be best to go ahead and do it.
Is your next resolution number 82? Okay. I'll make resolution 82 to put the tar distributor on govdeals.com.
I'll second that.
Roll call?
Trustee Sheets,
Yes.
trustee Hunter,
Yes.
trustee Good.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else for Robert? Okay, moving right along to the chief with fire department. Before we go on, I just wanted to say that we received on that Nextdoor website a thank you from a gentleman on Lupin's Road. He thanked the township for having the cleanup days and thanked the road department for helping him when he got here. And then we had a compliment from, on the Oak Grove Cemetery wall, from a lifelong resident of Pleasant Township. All right, chief.
Very cool. To date for October, 58 runs. We've been extremely busy, especially this past weekend. I think Saturday they had 10 or 11 runs just on Saturday alone. So we've been fairly busy. We had 104. I put 114 down. I believe it's 110 for September, not 114. So I don't know why I put 114 there. But, both the medics are having some service issues. Medic 1, the siren module went out in it. We had to switch the one from Medic 2 after the accident this morning. So we're running out of Medic 1 right now. That siren module is due in next week. It'll be replaced then. The Medic 2 again was involved in that accident with the deer this morning. Not a ton of damage. We'll be taking it to probably Horton tomorrow to get it looked at. We may stop at one other place on the way back as well, just to kind of get an estimate for the insurance folks. I've been in contact with the insurance adjuster. The driver was drug tested this morning. Basically, the deer ran out of a field on Beatty Road and struck the side of the ambulance in the front passenger side corner of the cab. So some fiberglass damage is really the biggest problem. The biggest issue with that truck is those front ends of those Internationals are all one piece. So the whole front hood structure is all one piece of fiberglass. So the insurance adjuster asked me if I thought there was more than $5,000 damage. I honestly had no idea, but I told him, yeah, I think there's more than $5,000 damage, just because if they have to replace that whole front hood and paint and all that stuff, it's going to be pretty expensive. If I remember correctly, a couple of years ago, we had the accident with Medic 1 in the same situation. Deer ran out and hit the side of it. They sent it to a place up in Columbus that specializes in fiberglass repair, and they were able to actually kind of weld, for lack of better terms, a piece in there. So that may be what we end up doing. I don't know yet. The truck's still able to be used if we have to. I've taken it out of frontline service, but if we have to use it, we can. So there's not that much damage that can't be used. If you look around the station tonight, phone system's in, it's working pretty well. The auto answerer has cut down on I will call them unnecessary fire department phone calls for us immensely. So I think people are being routed to the appropriate places, and that system's working out very well. So the electrical upgrades have been done, all the motion switches and those types of things have been put in. So those are, I think that project's complete to this point. We're waiting on the hand dryers and the plumbing stuff and things like that now. So, and also the roof project is done. I sent you all pictures of that. They did a very good job on it. They were in and out in 2 days. I was pretty impressed with the crew. When they pitched something off the roof, they damaged one of our screens. I talked to the foreman about it. He ran to Lowe's, bought new screen, and he even bought new stuff to hold the screen in. I can't think of the name of it right now, but yeah, the spline. So he purchased new spline and everything out of their took care of it. So they did I think they really did a nice job. The ambulance committee is still doing their thing. We're starting to get some quotes back from vendors, so we'll have those bids ready for next month. The radio bids will be advertised beginning next week. I'm looking at the opening for November 10th will be the opening for those bids when I get it advertised. I have a couple of requests this evening. My first request would be a resolution to hire Clark Smith as a part-time firefighter paramedic pending his driving abstract and drug screen. I think everybody knows who Clark is, so I won't elaborate.
I went to EMT school, Clark.
Well, I want to come work for you, so.
I'll make resolution 83 to hire Clark Smith as part-time firefighter paramedic pending on his driver abstract and drug screen. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call?
Trustee Sheets?
Yes.
Trustee Hunt?
Yes.
Trustee Good.
The second item I have for this evening would be a resolution for the purchase of the epoxy floor systems from Deco Coat Floors of Grove City for the cost of $17,148. This will include removal of all carpet and tile and installation of the epoxy floor system. It allows us to appropriately disinfect our floor. It contains an antimicrobial property within the system as well, so it'll be even a little bit more disinfectable, I guess is the best word that I can come up with. I did talk to Attorney Griggs and his staff about this project after discussing the carpet and the current condition of it and the absorbency value of it, because quite frankly, I'm afraid to actually take a swab and put it on this carpet and see what will grow. But they felt that after I discussed it with them, they felt it was an appropriate use of CARES Act funding because of the disinfection that we have to go through. Basically weekly, we're doing a full decon of the building, and anything that can be deconned is better than stuff that is absorbing the stuff. So I received 3 quotes for the floors. I had 2 quotes for the epoxy and 1 quote for an engineered product. I really picked the epoxy because of that antimicrobial property that's in it that will allow us to really disinfect it very well. So,
How much were the other 3 quotes?
The quote for the engineered product, which is basically like a laminate product, was almost $18,000, and PermaFloor came in with a quote of $15,568, but that did not include any demo, so we would have had to do our own demo work. Basically, all they're doing is coming in and laying the floor.
What is that gonna look like? Is that gonna look like the Rhino liner? Is that-
No, so it's gonna look more like, so it'll be like a colored material, and then it'll have flakes in it, and it'll have like a, I have some samples up front I can show you after.
Okay. I'd rather
But
see it.
basically, it's gonna be more of a, it's a colored product. They'll put some flakes in it to give it some different colors, and then there'll be a grip material that goes on top of that. The one nice thing about this company is they can actually put our logo within the floor, so we can get our logo from Aaron Rucker at Columbus Sign Works, and they can actually epoxy the logo right in the floor, which I thought was pretty neat option. So we can get a couple logos from him and have that around the building, but
Will it be slippery?
That
When it's
no,
winter?
there'll be a grip material in the top
Oh my
layer.
God, somebody walking
So,
in and.
No, I even asked him about the kitchen, because my concern is the kitchen, the guys making pizza on Saturday nights and stuff, there'd be flour all over the place, and he said that shouldn't be an issue.
What kind
So,
of warranty goes with it?
that's a good question. I don't recall. And I don't have it listed here on his quote. So I'd have to ask him that one, to be honest with you, but it's epoxy, it's good for quite a while, I would assume. I don't recall exactly what he told me the warranty is, and it's not on his quote, so.
It's probably something we should,
We should know.
yeah.
Okay,
And where will it go?
everywhere
Everywhere
that
Whole
doesn't
building?
have the new floor. So the entryway over here and the two bathrooms, and then our shower room will not get it. But everything else will have the epoxy floor. So,
Do you know what the turnaround time is?
no, he
Once they
didn't
get
tell me
that
that
okay.
today. I talked to him today, and I didn't ask him exactly
Okay,
how long
I
it
just
would
feel
take.
like everybody using the CARES money, a lot of things are getting where they're getting backed up, trying to get things done.
Yeah, I didn't ask him how long it would take, so he didn't sound like he was super busy, but again, I didn't ask him,
Okay.
so. This one says about warranty.
I think, did you send us all the quotes?
No, I did not. I just sent you the one I wanted. I have the perma floor one here, and then I have the one we got for the engineered product,
Okay.
so. Yeah, he doesn't have a warranty on here in his information. The demolition, surface prep, grinding, application of the product, and then cleanup is, there's nothing about a warranty.
Does he have a website? I can look it up and see what it says.
He does. Deco coat flooring. I was actually on his website.
Might stay on there.
That might tell us. I can give him a call. Find out. It's something I should have asked him. I didn't even think about it this afternoon when I was on the phone with him.
I'd like to see, before we decide
What it's gonna look like.
and the quotes from everybody, so we can decide, so we can have something to look at to decide.
Yeah, I don't see anything about
Here's kind of what it looks like, but it doesn't say anything about warranties. on
it. Yeah, I
there.
don't see a warranty on here either, on the website. I'll call him.
Is it kind of soft, like, I know at Mount Carmel in the hallway, it looks like tile and like it's hard, and then when you step on their shiny tile,
I can show you the
You can
samples
tell
I
the
have up front, but they're,
difference.
they're little squares. That's all they are. I can give them a call here in a little bit and see if he can tell me what the warranty is, because I'm not seeing one on here either, but it's and he's got several pictures on his website of what it would look like.
Why don't, for the
So,
next meeting, just give us copies of their proposals
okay,
ahead of time, so we have something to decide from.
okay, moving on. I'd like a resolution authorizing the purchase of 44 511 high-vis parkas from Main Street Treasurers at a cost of $13,156. 40 of these coats will be for us at the fire department, with the 4 remaining coats being for the road department. So basically what these will do is allow us to use them for PPE barrier, should we get into the situation where we're out of gowns and or Tyvek suits. These are listed in our protocols by Dr. Cortez for a acceptable barrier. This purchase will be covered by CARES Act funding that we received from the township. So there are basically the yellow high-vis coats that we have.
I hate to beat a dead horse, but it's kind of hard to just make that kind of a decision with that kind of money without anything to look at.
Okay.
Without a proposal or,
Well, there's really no proposal per se. It's basically just that these are the coats we purchase on for our uniforms. They're able to be used as a barrier.
or a quote or an invoice or something.
The quote comes off our uniform website. They're $299 a piece. That's where I took it directly right off our uniform website. That's where we order everything from.
We did the same. We just did the same thing at Prairie with the same codes.
I don't care if you,
I'm good with it.
all right, then
That's 84.
you ready? All right, I'll make resolution 84 authorizing the purchase of 44.
It would be 80,
We didn't make one for the one prior to that.
yeah, so it'd be 83, because we didn't do it.
83.
That
went
was
to
to hire
Smith.
Clark.
Oh, okay.
Resolution 84 authorizing the purchase of 44 511 high-vis parkas from the Main Street Treasures at a cost of $13,156. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call?
I'm sorry, who seconded it?
Like we
Randy.
both did.
Take your pick.
Okay.
Trustee Sheets.
Yes.
Trustee Hunter.
Yes.
Trustee. Yes.
And then the last request I have is a resolution to authorize the purchase of uniforms for part-time members not to exceed $5,700. Each part of the problem we have right now is we go on these COVID runs and our part-timers, in many cases, have one uniform to wear. So the CARES Act allows us to purchase these uniforms for disinfection purposes and things like that, for laundering. Each part-time member that has worked the minimum number of hours required will receive a pair of pants, an additional t-shirt, a job shirt, or sweatshirt. As I said, basically they receive one of each now, which doesn't allow them to change uniforms when they come back and launder their current uniform that they're wearing. So the approximate cost per employee is about $170. There's about 35 employees that will receive this. It won't exceed $5,700.
So where it says this does not allow the member to have a change of uniform, it should say this does allow it.
Right now, it does not allow them to have a change of uniform. They currently only have one uniform. This would allow them to
Buying
have a
this will
change.
allow them to have,
Yes.
okay, I kept reading that.
Yeah, no, this will allow them to have a change of uniforms. Right now they just kind of beg, borrow, and steal what they have, or they're, wearing some other department's uniform. So basically I'm asking to purchase, a mass amount of uniforms for the guys to have a change. So when they get a shower, our part-timers don't receive a uniform allowance like the full-timers do. So they have to buy it out of their own pocket. So I'm asking to use some of that CARES money to purchase an extra uniform for each part-time member that, again, has worked a minimum number of hours.
And you think it's 35 people?
Yeah, it's right around 35, I think is the number.
35.
I don't have the list with me.
170, that's 59.50.
Okay, that's not 35, it's 30. I don't have the exact, it won't exceed $5,700. I didn't bring the list in. Yeah,
Okay. I just wanted to,
I have the list out in that.
33 would get us there.
Yep, then it's 33. It was 35.
Okay.
We had a couple others on.
Did you include Clark?
I will include Clark.
I'll make resolution 85 to authorize the purchase of uniforms for part-time members not to exceed $5,700. Do you have a second?
I'll second that as long as it's paid for with CARES Act funding.
It is.
Roll call?
Trustee Sheets?
Yes.
Trustee Hunter?
Yes.
Trustee
Yes.
And then the last thing I have, I'd ask the board for an executive session to discuss the upcoming contract negotiations, compensation of public employees, and personnel issues. The coronavirus update I have for this evening, we have about 21,700 cases active in Ohio. 2,580 of them are here in Franklin County, and we remain at the orange level at this time. That's all I've got. Thank you.
All right, anything else for Chief? Okay. Old business. If either of you want to join, there's a virtual meeting set up by Mary Long on October 15th at 9 a.m. with Alita from the Recycling Partnership. Now, Mary had asked if we were okay with 1,820 recycle carts. And when I was getting our stuff ready, I happened to see a list they gave us a couple meetings ago that, let's see, that Mary put together. And it said her best estimate for number of carts, eligible households with service. And for Pleasant, she had 1,834 active customers with local. That's what she had. And then she recommends 1,820.
I would say nothing less than 1,850.
Are you in agreement with the 1,850?
I'm okay with that. They're just not gonna honor the price. We have to pay the full price for everything over our active. Was that what it was?
Yes.
Okay.
So if they deliver 1,850 to every resident, those are the $5 cards.
Okay.
If they would have,
If they deliver 1,800, we just have to pay full price for the other 50 that we ordered?
yes,
Okay. And then what, like, they're
40, around 45.
$50, yeah,
Mhm.
okay.
And how many extra should we get?
But she was wanting to order 1,820 and we bumped it to 1,850. I guess we go with that. That would be my opinion. That would give us,
Well, we can't
30.
order extra. That's what Mary is saying. We can't have our extras included in that
Oh.
number.
well, if you've got paperwork showing 1,835, we wouldn't want to order less than that.
All right, when I
I mean, if
saw
we don't order
that,
enough and they realize we don't have enough, are they going to get us more?
yes,
Oh, okay.
I think that the way they're setting this up is done very poorly.
they've told us every meeting is a different answer.
Right, that's what I mean.
Different story every
Different
trip.
answer on how many. But
And that's the
regardless, we'll have
reason.
enough for everybody, even if they don't have them
Yes,
the first time. Okay,
Andrew said that they would get them.
okay.
And how many did I say she,
1,834.
1,834 on that other one? about if I tell her in the meeting 1834
Okay.
and go with the number she gave us? And then how many extra should we get? 20? And make it
54.
1854.
Yeah, that'd be fine. I'm good with that.
And that 20 is at roughly $45
yeah.
a piece, yeah.
They changed that as well, because they were $42.50.
I think that's what they're at.
Okay.
Okay, I will. And that meeting's at 9 AM and it's a virtual meeting. Any other old business?
Nope.
Okay, new business. Paula, as I was going through my stuff, I have this resolution for accepting the amounts and the rates.
Yeah.
Do we need to do that today,
Yes.
tonight?
Mhm.
Okay.
We should.
I'll make resolution 86 to accept the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call?
Trustee Sheets?
Yes.
Trustee Hunt?
Yes.
Trustee Good.
Yes.
And while you're on resolutions, I need authorization to do the Darby-Dale street lighting and submit it to the county auditor.
I'll make resolution 87 to authorize Paula for the Darby-Dale street lighting. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Roll call?
Trustee Sheets?
Yes.
Trustee Hunt?
Yes.
Trustee Good.
Yes.
Okay. And for announcements, there's another virtual meeting about the COVID-19 Impact Conference. And that is our county association and Central Ohio Townships and Counties. That one is Wednesday, October 14th at 4. Then there's another one, October 15th. And that one is a virtual meeting. That's our County Township Association meeting. And they are hosting a zoning overview and training on October 15th at 7:30.
Is that the one that usually is at the county engineer's office?
They didn't
Where they
really
give
say,
salt
but
prices and
they didn't say, and they didn't have that on any of their agenda.
Usually it's this time of year.
it is,
Yeah.
it is, yeah.
And they didn't, I don't think anybody from the county was on that agenda.
I thought that one was just about zoning.
Yeah, zoning and,
Have you guys got anything on that county one that they usually hold at Dublin Road?
no,
That's usually late October or
It's
early
about
November.
this
isn't
time of
it?
year,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, they already canceled January's at the casino, didn't they?
They did.
yeah. Okay, for that meeting, it is Chet Cheney introductions. Joe Martin is the moderator. Jen Snap, Matt Brown will be there. Pete Griggs will be there. Jack Reynolds. And then a wrap up. For that one. So I haven't heard any more about the county. Okay. And I received an email yesterday from Tom Fancher. Paula, did you know Diane had surgery?
And Tom's actually had a couple surgeries
Oh my,
over the summer.
well, we send them our best wishes.
Absolutely.
And I emailed him back the same. And I told him because he said he had a heck of a time getting Diane up the steps, but he said it wasn't as bad as they thought. And I said, if he needs help with things like that, to
Absolutely.
call you
Yeah.
or call us and we'll call you.
Yeah. Just have him, the best thing for him to do is call 911. He needs help with something. Just have him call 911. And I realize it's probably not an emergency, but I mean, if we're not here or, we're out on other runs or something and he needs something immediately, that's the best thing for him to do. So if you talk to him, I mean, I realize most people don't want to do that and stuff like that, but that's the best way to get us.
All right. Okay, Paula?
Okay, we had another deposit of CARES Act funding. It was 240,106.16. That just came in. Several notices or information reports from your worker comp on an injured worker. OTARMA is looking for nominations for board members, board of directors, if anyone's interested in doing that. An email from the State Township Association on virus updates. OTARMA has a resource e-library. If anybody's interested in that information, a brochure and some information from Franklin County Soil and Water. The State Township newsletter, just kind of a solicitation type letter for a firm that provides services on audits. And we did the 2 resolutions for me. I just want to make note that included in the bills tonight, you're going to see one bill that Lieutenant Will had left a check from I guess a past part-time firefighter that had expired, so I just reissued it and we'll give it to that person. And then we've had a couple problems with some of the new hires. Haven't been writing real legible on their banking information. Whatever I thought it was, I submitted it to ADP and then they send it to Fifth Third and then Fifth Third has to verify it. Apparently they had went ahead and deposited money, but then they've withdrawn that money because the accounts didn't work out. So we have a couple part-timers that are going to have to get that account information straightened out, but you'll see what I did was so that those people aren't without their salary. I did township checks to reimburse them for what got stuck in the direct deposit system. So those are on those bills.
If you can't read it, let me know and I'll make them fill out another form that's legible.
Well, I
There's
actually had
no reason for
written
that.
back when we originally received a notification on their check stub that they needed to verify their banking information, but I didn't hear anything back.
Or if they're not legible, quit taking them if they won't give you a printout from the bank
So-
Yeah,
or
just
a
call me
voided
and say,
check.
hey, I can't read this, make them fill out another one.
So, but anyways, I just
I'm
want to
fine
make
with
you
that.
aware that's why those checks are in there.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks.
And that's all I have.
Okay. All right. I don't have any speaker sheets, but I'm assuming you're here to speak, so.
Yeah.
Who would like to go first? You want to go first, Bob?
I just had a question as far with Robert on the schedule. When do we expect to start and
It's-
is that,
I've got a rough sketch laid out here. If you want to take a look at it when we're done, and I'll show you what I'm waiting on. But I've already got the pipe bought, everything except for that structure. So it could be towards the end of this week or early next week, hopefully.
okay,
So I'll call them people again tomorrow and see if there's a place we always get them from out in Mount Winchester. They said they was probably 4 to 6 weeks out on getting one. So that's like found this place down here in Washington Courthouse. And they just filled a big order for the city of Hillsborough, but they said within a week we should have one.
okay,
So I'm waiting on that phone call. Then the end, there's another place down below Chillicothe or something, I think, where you said Joe and them went to get one. So, but nobody's got them right now. I don't know if it's because of COVID and they didn't have workers or just the economy or whatever, and everybody's building. So, but yeah, you're gonna get done here very shortly, so.
Okay.
But I want you to look at this. I'm gonna show you what I've got and just to see what you think of it too.
Okay.
So,
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Reeves?
Okay, I was interested in the timeline on the burning tree thing here. So another question I have is, any restrictions or of can people that park campers and what have you in front of their homes and in the yard, or?
You could probably answer that, Deputy Carter.
So it actually depends on the township on their ordinance, but as a ORC, as long as it's not in the right of way, they can park their cars on their property. As long as it's not blocking a driveway. And I believe it's 30 feet away from an intersection, if that makes any sense, like a curve or four-way intersection, as long as it's 30 feet. So you're not blocking the intersection when people come up to go through it. Is there something specific you're looking for?
Well, 30-foot camper parked on the front driveway.
On their own driveway?
Yeah,
For an ORC, that doesn't matter now. If there's a homeowners associations, I know that's kind of like a civil issue type thing, but as far as an ORC, they're allowed to.
that's kind of what I expected. I just wanted to make sure. The other question I have is concerning the recycle carts. What's the advantage to them?
The big advantage is we're getting a grant from SWACO, and it's gonna be at very low cost to the township as far as providing those to the residents. And the next thing that it would be, what they have now are the 18 bushel totes. When the wind comes in, recyclables go all over the neighborhood and clog up drain tile, like might have on burning tree. If you recall, when we snaked that, we pulled out 2 of those bags from like to hang on the mailboxes and stuff out of that tile. This is to try to keep the community a little cleaner and promote recycling.
Because I've used the tote that I have for 30 years. I've been in Oakhurst 30 years without an issue. All right, I could count the number of times that anything is blown out of there on one hand. And I just, if we're getting, if you're, there's a grant involved, that puts a different light on it.
There is a grant.
If if it's virtually a no cost item,
Pretty much.
then that definitely puts a different take. That's all I have, really. The burning tree is good, and I expected the need for a homeowner's policy there, but we don't have it, so it doesn't matter.
All right. Anything else?
No, I'm good.
Oh, I just forgot. I had a phone message on my phone from a resident regarding the electric aggregation. I know I personally have been getting some envelopes trying to solicit, and I know they weren't supposed to be sending those out. If you're already in the aggregation system or program.
That's my understanding.
Yeah,
They
that
should
they
not
weren't
be.
supposed to keep trying to solicit your business, but anyways, the residents, had a list of questions, wanting to know where we stand, still in it, where we're gonna continue in it, how long it was gonna be, are we gonna renew it when it expires? And he said that he thought his electric bill had gone up and that he thought that AEP was offering a cheaper rate than, what we have with the company that we're with. So I'm just gonna refer him to
Scott
Mr.
Belcott,
Belcott.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and then, because I don't know the answers to all those questions. and-
We don't either, and that would be a good call to just make them aware of
So I'm just
stop
gonna
belt
leave
out
him
Put that
there.
info on our website of what company it is and the rate.
The bell.
It's not on there.
It's not, that might be, that's just for people to reference later, maybe. And we should get it all, I don't remember what our rate even is, but.
I think it's 5. Well, I'm not sure. That was 5.
Paula, who is our contract with?
I don't remember, we go with Mr. Bill Castro with Trebell, and he negotiates all that and stuff, and it's been a couple years, I don't remember who the supplier is. I think it's on the electric bill, but like right offhand, I don't know, but we can get that answer for you.
No, that's fine. I'm
Yeah.
good.
He's like our broker, like you have an insurance agent that,
Yes, but a couple of years ago, I got a better rate than you guys did, just by calling them, I didn't know.
It happens, I mean, when we locked
Yeah.
in, then we're locked in and everybody can
Do what they want to
go
do.
right under, and that's why we always make sure that people can get out of it at any time. There's no contract. If you get a better rate, you can obviously.
But I haven't checked for a couple of years, or maybe I better check again.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't look, this gentleman just said I don't know if it's on his AEP bill or not, but he said that they were showing that they could give a better rate than what our service provider was doing, so.
That'd be great to provide it to our negotiator there or our broker.
Mhm.
Well, we sign a contract for like a certain period of time,
Mhm.
and then the township is with that broker or with that company, but residents are free to pull out of that.
Right.
anything else?
Nope.
Okay. I will move to go in executive session according to Ohio Revised Code, section 121.22, G1 and 4, for the purposes of discussing upcoming contract negotiations, compensation for public employees, and personnel issues. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call?
Trustee Sheets,
Yes.
trustee Young,
Yes.
trustee.
Yes.